cleared for takeoff, Transcon 47.
Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Inside the Cockpit. MayCay Beeler here with Queen City News Plus. Unfortunately, with some tough news to talk about, but we want to bring you up to date, talking about the plane crash that happened at LaGuardia Airport last night. So we do have a recording from ATC tapes, 2 recordings we will share with you in just a few moments. But first, let's bring you up to speed with what we know so far. So the National Transportation Safety Board and the FAA, they're on scene investigating a deadly plane crash at New York's LaGuardia Airport when an aircraft crashed into a fire truck. It all happened around 11:40 last night. 2 pilots are confirmed dead. Dozens are hurt. The airport is still shut down this morning. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey say it was a Jazz Aviation flight. That's a CRJ regional jet operating on behalf of Air Canada. The plane was coming in from Montreal. We know 72 passengers and 4 crew members were on board the plane. 41 of those passengers were taken to the hospital. 32 have since been released. Videos show the jet with severe damage to the front of the aircraft. Officials say the airport is set to reopen around 2 this afternoon. So according to reports, what happened was Air Canada 8646 had been cleared to land on runway 4 at LaGuardia. It had touched down. It was in its rolling out, decelerating on the runway, when at the same time, the controller cleared a fire truck that was on its way to an emergency on a different part of the field to cross that same runway, runway 4. Now, let me say, according to reports, the same controller was working ground control and tower control. And the controller, the airport, had just dealt with an emergency that had just happened regarding a United Airlines jet. It had taken off but aborted the flight when flight attendants complained about an odor and that they were getting sick. So the United jet decided to come back around and land. So this, of course, was considered an emergency. The airport and the controller were dealing with that emergency right before this collision happened. So again, Air Canada 8646 had just landed on runway 4, had touched down, was rolling out, when a fire truck that was going to respond to the United Airlines jet that had had the odor issue needed to cross runway 4. According to what we know, the controller had cleared the CRJ to land on runway 4, but then shortly thereafter cleared the truck, the fire truck, to cross the runway that would have been right in front of the jet. And here we have an audio recording of that.
Truck 1 and Company, cross Ford Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, Florida Delta.
Frontier 4195, just stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Bill 2603, go around, runway heading 2000, just 646. Just 646, I see you collide with vehicle, there's a full position, I know you can't move. Vehicles are responding to you now.
Okay, so you can hear the controller telling truck 1, that was the fire rescue truck, to stop after clearing it to cross runway 4. The controller obviously realized that there was a conflict. Why did the fire truck not stop? Why did the controller have conflicting clearances? So these are issues that the NTSB will be looking into, and the FAA. And the question is perhaps the emergency that happened right before that with the United Airlines flight, perhaps that was a distraction for the controller. Is it normal that the controller would work 2 posts, ground control and tower? Yes, it was close to midnight at LaGuardia. The airport isn't as busy as it would be during the day, but was that normal? Is that because of the ATC shortage? Investigators will be looking into, was the pilot fatigued? How long had the pilot been working? Was the pilot distracted? Or excuse me, the controller distracted? They will also give the controller an alcohol and a drug test, and of course interview the controller about what happened there. We don't know what happened. We're not placing any blame. We're just saying this is what the NTSB will be looking into. So the ATC tapes and video, airport video of the accident will be very, very telling. Was it ATC error? Was it pilot error? Was it the truck driver, the first responder, the firefighter that was driving the truck? Was it an error there? We do know more than likely that the NTSB and the FAA We'll investigate, was there miscommunication? Was there misunderstanding? Was there lack of situational awareness? Most certainly. This was the first fatal incident involving an Air Canada flight in over 40 years. And we remember last year, Air Canada had a CRJ that went upside down in Toronto during a horrible storm and wind and a snowstorm. And thank God nobody was hurt in that, although it was just horrific to see. So this is very unfortunate that both pilots died in this situation, multiple injuries. And imagine what the flight attendants went through. So there were 4 crew on board, the 2 pilots who died, and then 2 flight attendants who had to safely get everybody off the plane, and there were injuries as well. So we're just waiting to see. Things are just starting now. The investigation is just starting. It's tough to say this, but because more information will be coming out, live ATC tapes do indicate there was a conversation with the controller and another aircraft, talking to another aircraft, saying that, airport's closed, we're going to close the airport now, you want to reposition. And I think it was Alaska Airlines. The other pilot just said, we'll take care of that. And kind of indicated it was a tough situation to witness this collision. And according to the ATC live recordings, this is a clip of what the controller said.
Frontier 4195, I got the word that we're going to be closed for a little while. Do you want prepared to return to the ramp? Let me know. Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out, but I stopped. We were dealing with an emergency earlier. I messed up.
It was kind of hard to hear. It almost sounded like you said, I messed up. So this will be for the NTSB and the FAA to look into. Our prayers go out, of course, to the families of the pilots who perished, all that were injured, everybody involved in that, and to the air traffic controller. So again, was this a matter of air traffic controller fatigue, of the shortage? A lot of things typically have to go wrong for accidents like this to happen. Waiting for the preliminary report to come out. That'll be in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, the NTSB, FAA, and of course Canada investigators will be looking into this, the CRJ Canadian aircraft. And the final report could take up to 18 months. So again, very sad news coming out of LaGuardia from last night. 2 pilots died in a collision on the runway between an aircraft that was landing and just rolling out and a fire truck that was responding to another emergency on the field that was cleared to cross the runway at the same time, and they collided. By the way, the 2 fire rescue folks in the fire truck did sustain injuries and went to the hospital. From what we know right now, they're in stable condition. But again, lots of more information will be coming out. This is all we know so far, and we'll keep you posted. MayCay Beeler for Inside the Cockpit, Queen City News.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.